Today we're going behind the scenes with eBay's biggest sports card seller, moving over 3 million cards this year.
Biggest year to date, we did 56 million in sales on eBay.
They have an incredible process that they've built from the ground up, and we're gonna see what actually goes into operating a huge sports card business like this. I'm excited, let's get into it. We're here in the Richmond, Virginia area with Tori from DC Sports. As you can see behind us, it's a pretty crazy operation here that goes into selling that amount of cards. And we're gonna go behind the scenes, look at everything today. I'm excited.
Excited to give you guys a look at it. Peel the curtain back a little bit, see how we do this.
Yeah, it should be good. And I thought I have some cards from the new Bowman Chrome football, and you guys move a lot of cards, and that's really exciting. And I don't know, I just wanna see like the journey of how you do that and everything. And I think maybe just might as well, while I'm here, take these cards on the way.
Absolutely, let's do it. Yeah, we get inundated with new stuff, as I'm sure you can imagine. When a new product comes out, we get a ton of it. So yeah, you won't be the only one, but let's show you how it gets done.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so yeah, we'll go first over to where we sort, which is what you guys saw over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, basically, you know, Tuesday is our lightest mail day, just because you kind of get like Monday, we get that big catch up from the weekend. You get absolutely inundated, but you don't get that many people shipping overnight on Monday. So it's like all that stuff that gets shipped to Monday. We usually hit us Wednesday. But I mean, at this point, we're averaging about 300 submissions a day all throughout the week. So all the packages you see here.
This is a light day right here.
This is a light day. Happening. Tuesday is by a mile our lightest day. So a Tuesday is probably 150 to 175 submissions. Any other day of the week's about 300 right now, sometimes more. And yeah, it's crazy the volume.
And that's just submissions too. I mean, cards that might be,
you know, that could be 10
thousands.
cards or 1,000 cards.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy. I mean, right now we upload about 70,000 auctions in a week.
Wow.
But we've got about 90 to 92,000 coming in the door. So we've been hiring people aggressively, just trying to be sure we can keep up. Number one thing we're sensitive to is wait time. So obviously if we see our wait go from 8 days to 10 days to 12 days, we want to bring that right back down. So 70,000 used to be plenty, and now we got to go more to keep up. So
I love it.
Yeah, let's go over here and I'll show you how we get these started. Yeah.
So the cards arrive here off of USPS, UPS, or whatever.
Every carrier.
Unboxed, and then where's step one?
Yeah, so step one, we get everything in, take a note of tracking numbers, everything like that, just so we know everything that we received. Next step, if we got this package from you, is we basically bring it straight over here, and as we check every package in, it goes on the service level. So like for you, if you've only got 2 cards, that would be like, say, our Express, right?
Yeah.
So it's a small one. We put in the last 4 of the tracking number, just helps our customers keep track of it. And unfortunately, you've already got an account, so it makes it pretty easy. So we basically
and it pulls it up automatically.
Pulls it up automatically, so we can use name or email address to find your account with us. We hit create. This is what gets this unique ID that logs it into our system, and that's what's going to follow those cards everywhere they go through the process. So we know you own them, they get tied to your account. And at this time, based on our current volume and everything, is when we assign, okay, we received this day on the 4th. It would be uploaded by the 7th, and we put all those dates behind it. And then what our system generates is this little QR code we use. And so basically what this embedded in this QR code is what day we got it, what service level it is, your name, your email, your account ID, everything. And so then as it follows its way through our process, we pair this with your cards, and that's step one. It's here, we're working on it. Yeah, easy enough. And as you can see, we've got a whole career in there doing that. And then as we sort things out, we're separating out each service level. So people who paid for premium, which is like the next day listing that we offer, that's one box, goes through one process. Express ones like this got its own, and then all our standard go through something else. So this is really where everything gets started and grouped into the right group, just so that we can, you know, work its way through the process. And if I was going to continue sorting, I would just be add next package and we'd roll right through it. So
that's really cool, because for me, one thing I'm already picking up on is me, and I'm sure a lot of people watching, we're probably not going to start our own consignment business, but I sell a lot on eBay, and I'm sure other people do too. The organization is key. You can't scale, you can't do that with like the QR codes. I never would have thought about that. Like, it's just so organized.
And for us, it's important because as these cards move around, we might have somebody reach out and said, hey, I ripped some Bowman U. I was going to sell those cards with you guys. The Sawyer Robertson, can you ship it back to me? Making a deal with a buddy, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's nice for us, if you message, we know what package it was in, when we got it. So it just helps us track everything down. So yeah, we have to be organized. I mean, with the volume we're getting, if we're not, this whole thing would fall apart pretty fast.
100%.
So yeah, so next step, once we've got it checked in, is getting images for these. We can pop over to the next room, show you how that happens.
Let's do it.
So yeah, next up, we've got it checked in. Now we want to do images. So this device we use is called a Haystack One. So Haystack's a company we started working with coming out of the 2024 National. So Steve Sloan, who used to be at PSA, president there, Upper Deck. He's been in the hobby a long time. He started this company with a great group of guys we've been working with, and it's basically two things. One, it's an imaging device just to get really clear, high quality images. And secondly, it's a card recognition platform, so it can actually help us with identifying and titling the cards as they come in. So what we're doing now is we basically have an app we use, and so what I'm putting in here is just going to be your package ID, which lets me know, exactly what I'm working on.
And then everything's automatically linked.
Exactly.
So, wow.
And then as we add these, what we do is we basically just pop our phone in here. The first thing we scan, just to kind of validate it, is that QR code. So we take that, and what that does is just make sure that what I'm attributing all the cards after this QR code do are going to your account, just to keep things clear. And then the nice thing that I really like about this device is when we put these in here, you can really see, and like if you look on the screen here, like just with refractors, you get like that nice background color. It doesn't flatten them the way that some scans will and things. And so we just use this. This gets us a front and back image, and then we're just repeating that process for every card that you submit.
I was curious if it was individually or not, because you guys, I was thinking some people use like some sort of feed scanner, but the cards, I don't know if it
depends. Yeah, it depends on the service level. So what we do is for our express and our premium submissions, so our higher dollar and lower card counts, we use the Haystack device for everything. Those tend to be our higher value cards. We get a lot clearer images, and we can do multiple customers at once if we need to. If we don't do that, and I'll just hop over here for a second. So what you're referring to would be like these. Which
so you do have,
we do have the Ricoh 8170s. The nice thing with those is we can put 10 cards at a time in, and as you can see, it's just going front, back, front, back, front, back. And so you can go.
Does this work with top loaders too?
Yep.
Oh my God.
So we started working with Ricoh years ago, and originally it would only work on raw cards. And of course the concern was you don't want to put 1,000 raw cards through and you're going to ding corners and you're going to scratch surfaces and all that. So they have really improved it. They came out with a new version that we're still in like the prototype mode right now, working with them on. It's got like a Gorilla Glass inside, so it doesn't even scratch. It can handle top loaders, and so you can see every card that's spitting out here on her screen. You're seeing front and back image, front and back image, front and back image. So you can go rapidly through everything. And then we are just passing all those images straight into Haystack. It's doing the recognition, putting it out on the back end. So we do have a few different processes, and then if we ever have anything like multi-card lots, box toppers, oversized stuff, that's what these are for. So we've got 3 different methods. And these overhead scanners are what we'd use to lay out a 10-card lot or a box topper or anything like that, because it gets us that full range where we can do something much larger than we can fit in one of these devices or the feed scanner. So that's really what's happening there. And then picking up where we left off with your submission, what we would now see if I go in on Haystack here, you'll see you have here's your 2 cards.
I was as soon as this is brand new, I thought it wouldn't work.
Nope. So as soon as I take the photos in here, they're instantly uploaded. It immediately matches them. And what it does is we can see these check marks, or where it's confident in a match. So like you see it, and you can kind of hover over and see it. So we see, okay, Sawyer Robertson, refractor auto. On this one where we don't see that check, what we would do is kind of go in back behind and audit it. So it didn't automatically match, which means like you can see here, it wasn't sure orange.
But it gives you the other options.
It gives you the option. So where it wasn't sure, okay, was it orange or orange shimmer? You can't always tell perfectly from a scan. So what we can do is we can come in here and select, okay, this is the orange refractor prospect of Sawyer Robertson. It brings me to the next one where it knew right away, 2025 Bowman Chrome U, Sawyer Robertson, Chrome Prospect Auto, refractor, select. And then what we've got now is you gave us 2 cards. They're in the system, both titled. And so what Haystack has really helped us with is rather than us having to have somebody sit there at a keyboard and type everything out, we basically are able to do this. So we have people both here at the office internally, and we have a remote team. And what they're doing is, as everybody you see in this room is taking images and pumping them into Haystack, I've got 6 to 8 guys at any given time around the country who we know and have worked with us for years, who are just online auditing this.
That's what I was thinking.
Because you can't fully trust the AI. Like it's come a really long way.
Like one of them was right, but the other one was off.
And so what their job is they're coming back behind, and even on the ones where it thinks it's right, they're just putting eyes on it and saying this is right. Or even something as small as, let's say it couldn't read the serial number, but it was number 01 of 25. You want to be sure you call that out on the listing. So those guys are watching that, adding that here, and then that gets us our title. And then the other thing we can do is this will alert us. So if the title was to exceed 80 characters, which is eBay's max, it'll let us know, and we can write in line here on the listing, come in, okay, we're at our 80 max, we're good. If it was 84, they could modify it down. And so by the time they're done, I've got 2 images, the full title, it's ready to go. And then from there, we move on to the next step of our process.
This is incredible. My mind's already blown, and we're on step 2. So let's keep it moving. I'm curious what else is going on. All right, really quickly before we get to the next step, I'm curious, like the journey of your guys is your growth, and how'd you get into this, and then how now do you have this crazy setup?
Yeah, right. So really it started, it was Zach and me in the very beginning. Zach's my brother-in-law, and he was coming out of the Coast Guard. He wanted to start a business. He started a braking business. And And so I was helping him after my 9 to 5, just kind of like nights and weekends doing stuff. And what triggered the consignment was a lot of people would get into brakes and they didn't really want the cards. It was the fun, the social, the community of brakes, and they just wanted to sell them. And so we offered, hey, if you don't want to keep your cards, we'll list them on eBay for you.
Oh, so you started braking.
Started
that was the
braking,
original business.
exactly.
Okay, I was curious if you did like me, like eBay.
Nope, so braking was the first business, and what it really came from was we would offer to consign cards, and somebody would say, hey, I got these 3 hits, it's not a player I collect, I'd rather just have the money for my next brake spot, or the money to buy somebody I collect. And so we started consigning those, and so we would do brakes first, stop, and once we were done sorting and shipping the brakes, we would have cards left over, people wanted to sell, we'd list them on eBay. We just repeated that day after day after day. That turned into people saying, hey, I really love that you're listing for me on eBay for my brakes, can I send you these 50 cards sitting on the side of my desk that I don't want? And so that turned into the consignment growing and growing, and it just grew so fast that it got to the point that it wasn't really sustainable to do both. And so Zach ended up selling off his allocations with all the distributors for braking, sold that, and we switched to fully consignment. And that was when Zach's sisters came on board with us. His mom worked with us. One of my kids worked with us. So we really had a family thing going. We were sorting crazy amounts of mail on kitchen tables and basement, floors and everything. And so we ended up getting our first office because it just kept growing and growing. And that's when we really started the outside hires. So we started looking around the area, asking, card shop owners we knew and people we knew in the hobby. And a lot of the people you see here now have been here since that time. And ever since then, it's just taken off, the growth, and a lot of fun. But yeah, that's the short version how we got here.
Yeah. When did you guys start? What was the year when you first started? And then when did you go full time?
Yeah, so we first started, I guess it was in 2015, and that was braking. It was 2016 that the consignment started to grow, and kind of year over year we saw a lot of growth there. But it wasn't until I think 2019, it was COVID time. So 2019 that we went full time in it. So great timing, obviously, in the hobby with everything that happened. And that was when, myself and a few others went full time. We kind of went all in. And this year over year, it's just been growth, growth, growth. I mean, last year was our biggest year to date. We did about 56 million in sales on eBay. This year is going to be about 80. Next year looks like it's going to be 110, 120. Like, it's just, the growth's been incredible.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So how many cars do you think you'll sell on eBay this year?
This year will probably be 52 weeks, and I think in 2026 we'll do 4 million. This year will probably be closer to 3. So it's a lot. It's a lot of volume. And like you talked about, it's because we're doing everything from $3, $4, $5 singles for people to 6-figure cards, because we just kind of try to offer something to everybody on the spectrum of the market, because the hobby has grown so much, and there are those people who only deal in the high end, but there are also people who just have a pile inside of their desk of 200 cards worth $3 to $5 each, and they just want to get the money out of those, and helping them liquidate that, because most people don't have time to print 200 shipping labels and list 200 things on eBay or know how to do it. So but 4 million cards will be the number next year for sure.
Crazy. All right, well, let's keep moving. Let's see what's next.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right, so once we've got images, we've got them titled. Next up for us is what we call batching. And batching is basically when we're putting the cards that we received and we image them titled into our physical inventory here to get them on eBay. So what that looks like is we've basically got a sheet here that our team works off that shows the next physical inventory batch. So in addition to the QR code, which identifies who owns it, what kind of card it is, everything else, this is basically the where in the inventory it sits. And so what we do is we come and we see on the sheet here, here's your 2 titles. And this is where we're really checking everything. So if for any reason a card was missing, if someone who was doing imaging noticed something, like let's say this first card had a bad crease on it, or the photo came out blurry or something, they're noting that for us, just so we have this is kind of like our last QA step, pre-uploading to eBay, to put eyes on everything. So making sure the title links are right. If a title was super short, there's an opportunity to add something else in that we could fit, kind of like you mentioned, like the jersey number thing, that maybe the AI is not going to pick up automatically. This is where we could tack that stuff on, make sure we're good to go. And then once we're done here, we're just pairing this up. So we've got your QR code, your batch, the cards that belong to you. This all gets paired up, goes in a box, and then all these many, many cards you see surrounding us here are basically cards that have been batched and prepped for eBay that are either active for sale or about to be uploaded tonight. And so all the racks you see here are what's being prepped for that. And then from here, everything gets uploaded to eBay, which again, that's all the like proprietary stuff we've built out where we've got all the pieces, everything's put together on our back end and the back end of our website. We've built it all in-house. So that's managing how much do we want to upload tonight, what time are they starting, make sure they start at the right times. We end everything between like 7 and 11 p.m. every night Eastern, just because you don't want those 2 a.m. auctions going off. You don't want things at noon on a weekday, things like that. So our back end is doing all the scheduling, submitting everything to eBay, which like I said, right now is anywhere from 15 to 18,000 auctions in a night. So it's a pretty big number, and that's what the back end of our site handles. And then for there, all this flows into the room over here, which would be our next stop. So obviously we haven't actually sold these cards yet. So I'm gonna pretend a little bit here.
Okay, that's that's fine.
But here, let's go around this side. And once the cards end on eBay,
yeah.
what the back end of our site does is it goes through and it groups all the orders. So single card orders are together, high dollar orders are together because we pack them differently.
Yeah.
Bulk orders of up to a certain number of cards that we can fit in like a first class mail or a one-way. The heavy bulks of 50, 100, 200 cards at once are grouped differently. Now what our guys in here do is here's all that inventory that we were just looking at, already batched, but this is what's already sold on eBay. And so this is like for this card, I know this card is in this inventory batch. It's the 8th card, which is what this is telling me. So when I go through here, there's a card I'm looking for, and that's how we know where to pull it. It goes on the pile, pull, we move it on to the next card. And so just going card after card after card. And what they're doing here is basically the, pick of the pick, pack, ship part of our operation.
Yeah.
And then each of these will then move on, which we can go look next. So like with your cards, what would end up happening is they would end on eBay, we'd pull them from the room here, they'd get put into an order, and then would move off to our shipping area for that next step. So this has really saved us a lot of time, just because when you're on eBay, when you have thousands of orders at once like we do, it's kind of unbearable to walk in and just see a screen, right, on eBay that says you get 2,000 orders to ship. And it's not all put in order, it's not all sequenced the right way. So as much as possible, what this does is it also makes sure as they're pulling the cards, it's working left to right through the room, trying to save as much time as we can just to keep things efficient, because at our volume, every second you can save here and there makes a big difference for us.
I was gonna say, I thought I was organized by having my cards sorted by sport. I'm like, oh, it's a basketball card, I'll go over here. Like you have to be you pulled it out, you know the exact spot it's in.
In our early days, that's the way it was. So when we first went, it was, me and Zach and a couple of us at the very beginning, we would literally just have boxes, and this would be the Troy Reich box, and this would be the Troy Herman's box. And within those boxes, it was baseball, basketball, football, soccer, all grouped out. And obviously as we grew, we had to go to something different. And so this was developed just to be sure that if we ever need to look at a card, and at any time we can go on eBay, and within the eBay listing, we can also see, okay, it's the 8th card in batch T464 that was listed on November 1st and things like that. So it just helps us be sure we always know where the cards are, because we don't want to ever get in that spot where we're searching for things and wasting time. So yeah, same as what you guys saw in our pulling room, where as we're going through cards end and they know the exact location, what those guys did was put together the orders for our shipping team out here. And so what they're doing is going through, and each batch of outbound shipments they're doing is grouped up to be the same shipping method. So we'll have, low dollar singles, high dollar singles, graded and raw separated, bulk orders separated from single orders, things like that. And so same as you saw the tablet in there, where it guides them to that spot in the inventory and they pull that card out, what they've got here that he's working through is basically the shipping side of that, which is just showing on their screen on the iPad there, shipment by shipment, where it's showing them who it's shipping to, that we're matching up to each label, how many cards are in there, where they all pulled. If anyone couldn't find a card for some reason, it's called out on the screen here. And then they're just packaging these up by the whatever method we use, be it a bubble mailer or a box, or we have to go priority mail or whatever we have to do based on value.
I was going to say really quickly, like, does your system tell them exactly what it should be in? Like, for instance, if I ship, if it's like, oh, I have 8 slabs, it's time to move to flat rate box or whatever. Like, it depends on the shipment.
There's certainly a human element where they know based on what the cards are, but when these come out, and I'm going to come over Tanner's shoulder for 1 second here, but like when you look on the screen here, so here's like the shipment ID, who it's shipping to, how many orders, you'll see like method, USPS Ground Advantage 9x6x3. So basically what the system's doing is it's making that calculation where we know a graded card weighs this much, a raw single card weighs this much, oh, this one's a lot of 10 cards, we think it weighs this much. And we're doing that best guess math to say it should fit within this packaging type. It's not perfect 100% of the time, but
so there's still a manual. Someone might, oh, we got to switch this. And
sure. Yeah, that happens, and then we can do a label replacement and switch to a different shipping method. But the goal being, as much as possible, to give them 100 orders that are going out, same method, same packaging, everything else, so that it's as repeatable a process as possible, so that you're not bouncing back and forth between, okay, I'm in a medium flat rate priority box, and now I'm in a small bubble mailer, and now I'm going to a priority padded flat rate mailer, and just bouncing all over the place. So that definitely happens. And then they're just working through, one of these strings of 100 shipping labels through the same time that they're going through all the cards that are brought to them here, and then that's going out the door. So.
And how many packages do you guys think you have going out the door on average per day?
Right now we're probably at 2,000 to 2,500 leave a day. We're ending, like I said, we're in the 16 to 18,000 auctions a night range. But then when you take into effect, you might have someone be 500 cards in one order, and then you've got a lot of the singles, so it condenses that down some. But yeah, it's still quite a lot of volume leaving. And so all the bags you see on the floor here and all these carts, this is all outbound mail that's been packed up so far for today. So as you can see, there's already quite a collection going, and then more building up down there, and then throughout the day this will go. And at the end of the day, just one massive post office drop off happens.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's a lot of stuff. yeah. It's a lot of cards. Everybody out here touches a ton of cards every day. So yeah, volume's pretty crazy.
Love it.
But yeah, so once we get these on eBay, run them for a few days, and then you'll be going through the process we just saw, and your cards will go out that way. And then the great thing is on the back end of that, separate from the actual like hands-on fulfillment side of the operation, since everything's linked up with eBay automatically, that's really the other thing that I think separates us a little bit from some of the other consigners is, if this card goes on eBay tonight and it gets a bid up to $50, you could log into your account and you can see it's at $50 right now.
That's one of the things I love. I mean, well, hopefully, I don't think I came across as too selly in this video, but I just we linked up because I just happened to use DC Sports on my own time. It's just something I like to do, and the system is all integrated. It shows your cards very cleanly. I really like seeing the number tick up too in the dashboard when things start doing better.
We've got a lot of people now, so now we have the mobile app now out as well, and so a lot of people have switched from using the website to the app. Because if you open up the app and you say you're at $100 your available balance or active, and somebody pays for a $5 card, you can watch the numbers spin live, so people just sit there and just watch that ticker spin around. So yeah, to your point, having the current active bid prices is cool because people don't want to always have to go eBay to our website, eBay to our website. And so we got a lot of great feedback from our users to say, hey, we need a better way to do this. And that's what the app was brought out of. And then also on the back end of that, if this card sells for $100 and gets paid on eBay at 9 o'clock, your account updates and tells you now that's available money that you have.
Well, all that's left now is for me to wait and see how these actually perform on auction and get that payout, hopefully. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for having us and letting us take a look at everything.
Great to walk through it.
Yeah, if you guys did enjoy it, definitely check out DC Sports 87. It's what I use for my auctions, regardless of anything else. It's just a super smooth process. Make sure to check them out. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. See you next time. Peace.